Welcome to Lagos, a city alive with vibrant energy and the pulsating beat of creativity. In the midst of its bustling streets and towering skyscrapers, a silent revolution is taking place on the walls that line its roads. This is the story of urban art in Lagos and the artist who transformed the city into a living canvas. Meet MrWaduud.
MrWaduud, I'm an artist from Lagos, Nigeria. I paint the most dramatic portraits on canvas, and on days in the studio telling stories with my heart. I go out there, see shows, and promote the most promising talent in the industry. I am an artist who has always been fascinated about learning beyond the shores of my country.
A true icon in Lagos's urban art, his journey is a testament to passion and transformation. His murals are not just vibrant and bold, but also powerful statements on the social issues that resonate deeply with the city's people. While MrWaduud is one of the pace-setters of street graffiti in Nigeria, he's no longer alone. BelloColorThug is an artist whose work seamlessly blends tradition styles with the contemporary. His art, which he calls Bonehead.
Graffiti is like the most interesting art style where you're able to experiment different art terms, different art mediums, and different art styles in general.
Is a vibrant celebration of heritage and creativity. Then there is an artist whose graffiti is a showcase of bold and captivating creativity, which he calls Abadabidism. 12 the creator's vibrant pieces stand out, sparking admiration and conversation about Nigeria's rich artistic landscape.
The MrWaduud that everybody knows today on Instagram, who is able to share life art and creative arts for all the creatives out there, evolved from a guy that grew in an industry that had an osh and temperament, which means that a lot of people that were artists and creative in the industry really did not set the time aside to be able to inform those occurring in the community. From getting into OAU, studying economics, and at 200 level, I switched and restarted my program. I started from part 1 again to study fine and applied art. I've always been in tune with learning from there, and that has evolved my practice so much because I found a loophole in the system where a lot of people just keep to themselves, they conform. Everybody just posts their artwork, puts the title, the name, and they disappear. But for me, it was important for me to create a community of people that are artist lovers, curious people who are interested in the work of art. And it was also very crucial for me to let people understand that art is not just for a selected few. Art is for everybody because in one way or the other, it touches us. One of the crucial things that made me get into urban art, which is the public art as we have it, street art, mural art, graffiti, all of this, I got into it out of curiosity. I've always been fascinated by scale. How are people being able to paint something so small size into a magnanimous surface? And it is out of curiosity of, can I do it? I want to check whether I can do it. And from that faith and that attempt, that curiosity, indulging in it, I evolved into something I was passionate about. I kept sharing it, it kept connecting a lot of my community, and I grew from there. So one of my most impactful murals in Lagos is currently situated at K2. That piece was made as a gesture post the NSAS protest. So David recently broke the record for the largest drawing by an individual, and so I've been part of the artists that have worked closely with him as he attempted to break the record, and now he has broken it. I think one of the things that has been very influential and key in what he's doing, he has broken a lot of stereotypes. He has shown a lot of artists in the community that you do not have to think, the limit you set for yourself is the one that you have. You need to think beyond the limitation of where you are at and what's possible for you. And one of the most interesting highlights this year is to have been able to work with 12 the Creator, as over time I've grown a community of artists that are always looking forward to opportunities to collaborate with me. 12 the Creator have been one of those people that I've been able to build a good relationship with over time. And when he reached out to me, I'm like, yo, you can pull up my studio, we have the wall, let's go crazy. And it happened that I have a very invested community of people that are very participatory. So I put it out there and said, yo guys, we have a blank wall, hi, and Traffic Creator, we're going to be painting something in his recent style of work, which is the Abadabidi, and I'm going to be painting with him whatever they suggest. So I asked them to suggest and I'll pick at random. Coincidentally, somebody recommended Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, oh, that's perfect, because it was even the talk of the town, because it was a trending issue where people are using art through hip hop to be able to have conversation about even the creative culture and community.
BoneHead is like the day-to-day life of a normal human being. I just exaggerated my own character and then turned it into something which is called BoneHead. So it's basically my character in graffiti art, basically. I think the painting of Davido was an opportunity because, it was a commissioned piece, and I just infused Davido into it, and I was lucky enough for him to see it and take a picture with it. So yeah, one of the major challenges is, should I say space? Because we graffiti artists always want to paint outside and give people that street vibe, street art, but it's not so easy. Why? Because the public space is basically owned by people now, and then we get bust up by what they call them, hoodlums and all that. So it's not easy for us to go out and paint. To be honest, my parents were not really into the art journey, but then I took it upon myself to be prolific, basically. The total result of it is still the financial part of it, because they never believed, art could bring so much, money. There's so many things going on. So yeah, we just picked that and then tried to, create something amazing. I think my highest paid job right now, should I say 5 million? Yeah, for a painting, for a very big painting. I think 6 as well. So it depends. We mostly get, graffiti jobs, and we mostly have art collectors buying our paintings. So yeah, we're never overpriced. If I could collaborate with any artist, I'll say Alec Monopoly. So Alec Monopoly is, I don't want to call him a Dubai based, but he's always everywhere. So he's a pop artist, and it's quite lively. I enjoy how he creates and his energy towards art, and I think he's somebody I would love to collaborate with. So we Africans are just, tapping from the energy. So basically, I would say, it's not accepted here fully, and most people really don't value art in general, not to even talk of graffiti art in Africa. So yeah, it's a major challenge, but then I feel like, in the next 2-3 years is something that'll be a major deal here in Nigeria, Africa at large as well.
From doing the whole still like an artist to secret mentorship from artists that didn't even know they were mentoring me, I've been able to create my own style, which is called Abadabidi. Now I'm going to go further into Abadabidi. I grew up in Edo State, Benin City, Edo State. And in Benin City, when a child scribbles or draws something, it looks like rubbish, right? It looks like jargons, it looks like scratches. Actually, the full name is Abadabidi Tolo Tolo. Tolo Tolo is a word for turkey in Benin. So when a turkey moves, they scratch the floor, you get. So for me, my art is Abadabidi in the sense that I am a child expressing myself in my purest childlike form. So when I started doing art, and not just art, but the type of art I was doing with the patterns and everything, it was strange to them, first of all, and plus I was in school. All they wanted from me was to graduate, finish with school and leave school. At some point I just said, you know what, I am going to be an artist. That's what I was created to be. That's me, right? That's my destiny. Whenever they are going to come around, they are going to come around. But I guess we can say they've come around, thankfully. So urban art, first of all, it's not a largely recognized art, right? So for example, if you go outside the country, there are mural artists that paint on walls. They have opportunities to paint on walls, and they have access to materials, right? But in Nigeria, in Lagos, it's not so, because traditional artists museum artists, gallery artists are the people that are recognized. People that are putting their works in museums and galleries and exhibitions are the people that are recognized. People doing murals and graffiti and all that, they are not really popular, they are not really appreciated as much, right? So one of the issues we face is the fact that it is not even a recognized, like area of art, right? So a graffiti artist that's just starting up will not be able to easily access or afford those materials. So like those are pretty much the issues we face as urban artists in Nigeria. I remember one time when I was doing a mural in Benin, right? And then one guy liked it and he came up to me and was like, bro, I'd like you to do this in my house. I'm like, okay, that's count. And funny enough, I was actually just starting then. So I feel like I even gave him like the lowest price ever, right? And he goes, you know if you do one for 5K, like bro, you're talking about your sitting room wall, like I should paint your sitting room wall for 5K. I can't even buy a can of paint for 5K. You have to be your number one cheerleader. Like I said, fight for the life you want because nobody is coming to save you, only God.
As we walk through the streets of Lagos, it's clear that graffiti is now more than just something on the wall. For a generation that is determined to have its say through different mediums, graffiti is not just art. It's a vibrant expression of identity, a catalyst for change, and a powerful voice in the urban landscape. Through the eyes and hands of its creators, we see the heart and soul of a city that never stops creating, never stops dreaming. A city that is now a canvas.